Hey there, Tenno! First of all, huge apologies for the silence on the channel. I got hit with a pretty nasty illness, so putting out a video last week just wasn't physically possible. But I'm back on my feet now, and we're getting back to business. Today on the operating table, Latron Prime with its Incarnon adapter. The big question is simple. Is this weapon actually worth your time and resources? Or is it just another fancy piece of mastery fodder? For your royal inventory? Let's break it down. Let's start with the basics. Latron Prime is currently vaulted, so you won't be farming it from active relics. On Warframe Market, a full set goes for around 65 platinum, which is honestly pretty reasonable. This is a classic semi-automatic rifle with a mastery rank 10 requirement. Veterans remember it as accurate, but boring. That changed the moment the Incarnon system arrived. Just keep in mind, turning this museum piece into a real monster requires access to Steel Path and farming the adapter from the circuit. On paper, Latron has always been a solid middle-of-the-road weapon. Good crit chance, respectable status, and excellent accuracy. But the real magic happens in Incarnon form. Once transformed, your bullets turn into ricocheting projectiles that chain through enemies, turning what used to be precise single-target shooting into controlled chaos. Important detail, this is not a weapon for holding down the trigger and sprinting forward. To charge Incarnon mode, you need consistent headshots. Miss too often, and you're stuck using a very ordinary rifle. Latron rewards discipline, aim, and control. There's a lot of confusion around Latron, so let's deal with a couple of common myths. Myth number 1, reload issues. In reality, Latron has a fantastic hidden perk. You basically never need to manually reload when switching forms. Even if there's a single bullet left in the magazine, exiting Incarnon mode refills it completely. It doesn't matter how much you fired, void magic at work. Myth number 2, multi-shot doesn't work in Incarnon form. I've heard this even from experienced players, and it's just wrong. I tested it myself. Multi-shot from arcanes and standard mods works perfectly. More projectiles mean more status procs and more damage. Don't overthink it. Slap your galvanized mods on and move on. Now for the good stuff. I've got 3 builds for you. Build number 1, Budget Survivor. 0 platinum. This one is made entirely from whatever you can reasonably get your hands on. Despite that, it handles level 200 Steel Path enemies just fine. No, it won't one-shot bosses, but it absolutely does its job. Think of it as your entry ticket into the Incarnon world. Main build breakdown. Galvanized chamber. This is your core DPS multiplier. Multi-shot massively increases hit density in Incarnon form, which directly boosts status application and real damage. Thanks to Incarnon evolutions, this mod becomes one of the build's main scaling tools, Toxin. The core of the build, the combination of infected clip and malignant force forms pure toxin damage. Toxin bypasses shields and hits health directly, which becomes brutal once armor is stripped. Malignant force adds status chance, making procs consistent and damage reliable. Rifle Elementalist increases the contribution of status effects to your total DPS. With high hit density, Toxin ticks start making up a huge portion of your damage output. Critical Scaling Package, Critical Delay, Vital Sense, and Hammer Shot form the crit backbone of the build. They boost crit chance, crit multiplier, and status chance. Crits enhance not just the initial hit, but also the follow-up status damage, which is crucial for longer fights. Vigilante Supplies adds a chance to upgrade crit tiers. With how many hits you're landing, this effect triggers often enough to noticeably raise your average damage. Base damage support. Semi-rifle cannonade increases base damage and reduces recoil. It's a direct multiplier for Incarnon form and makes sustained fire much easier to control. Primary Blight Arcane. This is the heart of the build's scaling. It grants bonus damage per Toxin proc and extra multi-shot. Since Toxin is applied constantly, the Arcane stays near max stacks most of the time, pushing DPS, status pressure, and hit density even further. Incarnon evolutions, these upgrades elevate the build on a systemic level. Base damage bonuses act as universal multipliers, built-in multi-shot from puncture stacks with mods and arcanes, allowing near-permanent maximum output. Armor reduction speeds up damage ramp-up, letting Toxin do its job sooner. Recoil reduction improves consistency and accuracy. Build number 3, High-Speed Chaos. The first builds are strong, but I personally wanted more tempo. In the third setup, I traded some raw damage for fire rate and changed the elemental setup. The result is unconventional, but incredibly fun. Final thoughts. Latron Prime Incarnon hits a rare sweet spot between precision shooting and crowd clearing. If you can land headshots consistently, this rifle will absolutely carry you. So what about you? Are you running slash setups, or do you prefer melting enemies with Toxin like I do? Let me know in the comments. And as always, good luck with the grind, Tenno. See you in the system.